Do I need a safe word? What is the expression? Do I need like a safe? It's called safe word, right? Is that what it is?
Fire, I think.
Is
right?
it?
You just yell fire and everybody comes.
Well, that's a difference in each situation. There.
We got to do this interview. Okay, I will give you $2 back. I will make it not cost if you walk away and let me do this interview. But stay close and stay tuned in to life. Stay with Svetlana. Okay.
Hi. It was worth it. It was worth it. I was so excited to meet you and talk to you finally.
Nice to meet you as well.
Thank you. Adam. And the name of the show is Filmwax Radio. So now you have the background.
Filmwax.
Filmwax.
Like earwax.
Like earwax, yeah.
But like stuff that builds up and you got to Q-tip it out.
Yeah.
But films that build up and you got to Q-tip them out.
In your head, and finally you just have to...
It's my day to be Q-tipped.
Dig them out. Yeah.
Because you've been watching all my films and now it's time to...
Well, but I didn't binge watch. I'm telling you, I saw Dig years ago. I saw Living. No, I didn't see Join Us.
We Live in Public. You got to see Join Us.
I want to see it.
It's like my jazz record. Some people think it's the best I've done.
Well, we want to think Brand is your finest. Right? It's always best to think that.
Well, I think that it might be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's my favorite right now.
Right. Because it's also...
All my children I love equally, but right now my new baby is my favorite.
Yeah. Well, it's occupying much of your...
I mean, it's just got it all. It's so funny.
Yeah.
He's so great. He's such a genius. He's such a troubled soul at the same time that he's a genius. And he stands for a time that we are taking the power back as people, and we need to.
Right.
So it's political and personal and intimate, and he's somebody who took everything to the hilt.
Mm-hmm.
All the myths that were sold that'll make us happy or satisfy us. He's done it all. He got it all, the brass ring, and he let it go.
Oh, yeah.
Gave it away.
Yeah.
Threw it back in the pond.
Right.
As it were. So it's an inspiration.
You're talking about Russell Brand, I take it.
I am.
The film is called Brand, A Second Coming. And that same complex nature of your subject also is why he ultimately decided not to come to South by Southwest, right? I think he expressed a certain amount of discomfort with being at that kind of event, right? And being...
Yeah,
I can see that.
I suggested to him that he had stage fright. That that if he thought that if people saw too much of him, sides of him that they maybe didn't see before on film, and people saying things that he didn't think were attractive, that they might not love him as much as they did, or and then they might dismiss him. Mm-hmm. And I suggested that they would love him more for it. Because I've seen audiences react to him and they love him more. But he said, that's not it.
Mm-hmm.
And he said in a statement, it's just too painful to relive my life. Right? He said that in the statement he publicly made.
Did that come was that a harsh thing for you?
I mean, I thought I had convinced him to come.
So you had to be disappointed, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, I was working on it. I knew it was a problem. It was potentially not going to go where he was going to come here, but I couldn't believe it at the same time because he'd worked on this film long before I came on board, and I knew it was important to him to share the messages that are inherent to the film.
Mm-hmm.
However, he didn't want those messages derived from his own life journey. He wanted to point at the camera at everybody else but him, which is ironic for someone who seems to want attention.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that he wants attention. He just is an attention magnet.
I understand.
When you try to shoot a documentary about Russell Brand, you quickly realize he doesn't want to be filmed.
But also,
yet he asked me to film him. It was a weird conundrum. I've had that happen once before.
But that doesn't even know that
with
doesn't.
Lucinda Williams.
But even one of my favorites.
Yeah,
but
begged me to do something with her, and then ran from the camera.
Yeah, because I don't think they understand. Just the whole. It's not like you're starring in some sort of film or story. This is now you having to, like an onion, peel away the layers, and that is a very different commitment and experience.
He expressed to me, at one point I wrote voiceover for him and we tried to record it in a studio.
Oh yeah.
And he couldn't record any of the voiceover I'd written. He just was like, I don't know how to talk about this. I don't want to sum up my life like it's a scene. I don't want to look back like this. You're connecting all these dots that I don't want to think about. It was really I could see that. I mean, first of all, he's a person who lives in the present. He's so living in the present tense. He's so excited about what's going on right now and the movements he can be a part of and the change we can have happen. And he's thinking towards the future, and he's disrupting left and right. His life is a crazy circus every day. So he doesn't want to have to think about the past. And I would ask him all these questions, trying to connect the dots, as any storyteller would. And he was very resistant to it, but we got there. We totally got there in the end. I was very happy with the quality of the footage we had, the interviews. Everything. If anything, it was an embarrassment of riches. The editing process was difficult. He's an incredibly fascinating person. So
why was it difficult? Because
there was so much great stuff.
There was so much stuff. So it was a matter of what.
There was a 4-hour cut that I was like, okay, I don't know what I can cut. But that dig was 12 hours, so I've gotten better. The first cut of dig was 12 hours long.
That's incredible.
And then 5. Then I cut it down to 5 hours, and I was like, okay, but that's from 2,500 hours.
Yeah, that's a.
And with Brand, it was about that much footage, if not more. And different now. You can't calculate it quite the same way because it's gigs now, and it's not.
Did you have just one editor on Dig, or did you have did you work with one editor?
I think I was the only credited editor on Dig. I can't remember.
So you edited it.
I did, but my brother edited with me early on, but then he left the project because he had a family very young in life, and he felt like he needed stability. He was here because he edited on Brand too, and we started our company together. We went to school together, to Yale together. Yep. So he was very much a partner in crime, and not crime, but a partner in Dig, let's say, in the shooting of Dig, which did turn criminal at one point when we got arrested. But yes, he was my one call from jail. Actually, my brother. So
you actually do get one phone call?
You do get a call.
That's not just
if you're not African American, you get a call. When my subject of my first documentary is African American and did not get a call. She didn't get any of her basic rights. Nature of the Beast, that movie's called. You probably haven't seen that one.
Guilty.
Features?
Guilty.
Or shorts?
But are you asking me if I've seen your shorts? Or are you
No, I'm predicting your next question. I'm sorry.
Oh.
You said how many, and I figured you were going to say how many films. And I don't.
Oh, yeah. How many features? That is my question.
I was going to take my head run to make. I'm not good at math, though. So I was going to take this time while you were formulating the question to calculate the answer.
It's always fun to interview people smarter because they can anticipate the question.
Someone gave me great advice, though, as a director. In the director's lab at Sundance, they gave me great advice that I'm not practicing very well right now, which is even if you know the question or you know what somebody's going to say to you, don't cut them off. Just patiently wait for the question.
Well, that's what they say to you when you're in a job interview, and just don't don't offer it. Well, it's a variation on that. They say don't offer anything, just answer the questions. Don't offer information, don't bring stuff up.
If you're looking for a job from me, you should not follow that advice.
I don't think you're typical.
And maybe that's why I've never gotten a job, because I never did that. No, I have had a job, but I lost it pretty quick.
So you created your own.
I have a lot of people that work with me.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah, but they all work with me because they're awesome. And they're individuals, and they all have dreams that are way beyond what they're doing with me right now, and I'm just a stepping stone.
But even in our
So that's why I like working with them.
But I can tell I can tell you like working with them, and I can also tell from just the experience of just a few minutes ago up at the hill there, up the grassy knoll, that
Texas, no less. A grassy knoll in Texas.
Right.
But not that kind of grassy knoll.
No,
let's clarify, it's the Four Seasons in Austin.
Yes, on
the bastion of liberalism, free thinking, and weirdness.
Here on the lake, which actually the Colorado feeds into.
I mean, it's hard to call it a lake when it's shaped like a river, but I know that they do.
But technically,
and it smells funny. The water smells funny in Austin these days, and I'm concerned for the city. I think it's an algae bloom. I love Austin very much, but I'm at the Radisson, and it smells like fish.
Oh, really?
The water. I've been Googling it, and it's widespread on Google as well.
Really?
Yep. But we're waiting for, on a brighter note, we're waiting for the bats to fly, aren't we?
Yeah. Austin has a, Ondi Timoner, welcome to the podcast, by the way, is referring to...
We're going to introduce the guest now.
Referring to this phenomenon here in Austin where these bats fly in. I heard about this from my driver in from the airport, that he said that they fly in from Mexico when it gets too hot. They fly up here. They hang out here under the bridges. and then they go back when it gets too hot here. Yeah, I think so. Or too cold here, excuse me.
We should all do that.
Too cold. Agreed. I like this town.
I love Austin.
Me too.
I wanted to buy property here a long time ago. Years and years and years and years.
Yeah.
Now that opportunity is probably lost.
Where did you grow up, by the way?
Miami, Florida, of all places.
That's
My
great.
dad founded an airline when I was born, the year I was born. Air Florida was the fastest growing airline in American history. It grew like leaps and bounds. It was
60s,
deregulation. 72.
Yeah.
And in the first
Your mom?
9 years of my life, I was on airplanes. And that's why the logo of my company is an airplane, but it's also because I believe my films should be journeys and that you should really get on a ride and not get off. And I don't care if it's real. You know, why should a scripted film be the kind that people fall into and can't get out of and lose themselves in? Like, I always react to the words narrative and dramatic as descriptive of the other genre of filmmaking. It's like, my films better be strong narrative, dramatic films.
They are.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I hope so, and I think the best docs are. My son said, this isn't a documentary you made. This is the most entertaining. Like, see what I mean?
Funny. Yeah.
Like, you see what I mean? But I host
these
BYOD. I host a talk show about docs. You know?
Where is that? Where can people find
it's on
that?
the lip.tv. It's the only talk show about docs in the world, and I know most working doc filmmakers. I mean,
Who's been
blessed are this that I get to. I mean, I've shot hundreds of shows over 4 years now at festivals and in a studio in Beverly Hills. Everyone from, Morgan Spurlock to Jahan Nujaim to the late Les Blank, his last interview.
Wow.
D.A. Pennybaker, 2-part special, Oscar roundtables.
Can I say
It's
something?
gems.
With the exception of Les Blank, who of course I would love to have had on. I've had all those people on my podcast.
Well, what the heck, Adam?
I know.
Why did it take so long to find
I don't.
time with
no time
me?
like the present.
Right. You're right.
But I mean,
Why should
I don't
we think
know.
about the
I
past?
haven't been doing it that long though, because I was not in this industry.
You've been just going for it.
kind of, yeah. I'm just.
When
I
did
just
you
talked-
start this thing?
Oh yeah, 2000. I mean, technically 2011, 2012.
See, that's when we started.
Very start.
BYOD in 2011
Okay.
and atotaldisruption.com, my
Right.
network.
I checked it out.
You like it?
Yeah. Yeah.
We're starting the
checked it
beta. We launched a beta today.
Today.
A search and
Congratulations.
discovery platform that takes all my raw
These
footage
are-
and makes it searchable down to the word. So you can get first-person wisdom from all the leaders.
Yeah. You're talking about
thought leaders of today.
Thought leaders.
Leaders
From
in technology,
everywhere.
leaders,
right, all over.
founders of Twitter and Instagram and Zappos and people like Amanda Palmer. She's had the biggest Kickstarter in music history and Shepard
right.
Ferry.
Is that
all that
yours?
stuff will be
That's not- is
searchable
that your
down to the word.
documentary too? Amanda Palmer's
Yeah,
yours, too.
Amanda
I saw
fucking
that.
Palmer on the Rocks.
Amanda fucking Palmer. Saw that too.
And Obey the Artist premiered
she's
here
in-
last year about Shepard. Obey the Artist about Shepard Ferry.
You're too busy. You're too busy.
I agree.
No, I thought I saw a larger percentage of your work, but clearly I'm mistaken. But more to look forward to.
Why not?
The
We're
worst
here
thing.
now.
I always tell people
Let's
when
do
you're,
it.
for all those completists that always feel like they have to see all the films of a filmmaker. But I always say leave one or two. Don't see all the Cassavetes because if you see them all, then he's
There's
gone.
nothing to look forward to.
You got nothing to look for. So you always have to leave one or two to look forward
Yeah.
to.
That's good. You'll see Join Us after I've passed away.
Yeah. Okay. I might before you, but
Cool It. Have you seen Cool It?
yes.
It's intense
Yeah.
for what it is.
Yeah. So you grew up in
Controversial film, again.
So you grew up in Florida, in Miami, Florida, specific. It's
With
very
my
important to say
father
that
and
too.
mother, who I'm
And your mom
writing
was
a script about.
Okay. What did your mom?
My mother is an incredible woman who was here in Texas with me
Okay.
for
She's
my
here.
premiere. She's an amazing woman who just wins over anyone she meets, Lisa Timoner. She went from jet setting to caretaking, a man who had a stroke when his neck was cracked when I was 9, in a massage, my father, who lost everything and went from multimillionaire to bankrupt, and is so funny and lovable and loving and caring.
Your
that
mom?
my father,
Your father, too.
kept my mother's love and kept her from 40-year-old beauty, ex-model. She never had a career per se, but great writer, actually, and people person. But she stuck with my dad and has been the light of his life, and he's 86 now, she's 76, and their love has lasted, and they've gone from really, boxes of whatever they wanted showing up at the door to literally debt and me bailing them out several times. And it's like, that doesn't matter. None of it matters. All the love matters. The love matters. and he's sharp. He's amazing. He's a treasure trove, and so many of us forget that as people get older. I really want to tell this story. It's going to be an amazing film.
Will that be a...
Scripted.
Yeah.
As I call it.
It's interesting, right? Yeah, I noticed you're specific about
Very
how you're
specific
calling it
about it.
rather than going for...
And I also wrote a script about Robert Mapplethorpe that I'm making as soon as possible,
Mm-hmm.
called Mapplethorpe, that we developed at the Sundance Labs with grants from Sundance and Tribeca.
Oh, very good.
Yep.
And
So it's time to move on in that direction a little bit.
when you
Spread my wings a little bit.
Good, absolutely. What was the circumstances behind deciding to make a film about Russell Brand? Since I guess ostensibly that's why we're talking, but
We should, I guess, talk about Russell.
well, yeah. And then also, when you did do that, had he announced his life change about going from the celebrity and the movies and that to the book, The Revolution, and becoming more politically engaged, and had he made that public? And
no.
did you know about
When
it?
I
And that
met
happened- all
Russell,
happened as
and
you-
when I came on the project, he was just beginning to write the Messiah Complex.
Mhm.
And when I formulated the treatment for the film, none of that was included. It wasn't even in his mind's eye, I don't think. Maybe in a far-reaching dark corner, but I don't think he had any idea any of the truths was going to happen or he was going to write the book. Paxman really incited the book. Paxman, when he showed up on the Jeremy Paxman show and he on the BBC Newsnight, he said such incendiary things and was so utterly mind-blowingly many views later, 12 million or something like that. I don't even know. A lot. 12 million, I think. Is that possible?
Sure, I guess. It sounds not large number, but I don't have a scale for that. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's the number.
Okay.
Yeah. Big reaction, and it was such a different Russell Brand than people had met before. And then in America, Morning Joe,
That was
MSNBC,
sure, of course
was
it
the moment.
It was great TV.
Both are featured in the film.
Yep.
And both came as a surprise to me.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that through because Russell Brand's complicated in his persona because he's on one hand a thoughtful, intelligent guy, but he likes to use humor as a way to, just engage. And but many people, in other words, mistake that for him being clownish and maybe they know about his drug past, and so they dismiss him in a certain level. And so they certainly did on Morning Joe, which was a lot of people's introduction in America to the fact that, they got him wrong. So that was incredible to see that. And at the end, he's not being snarky. He still comes out being very lovable. That's the thing about it. He could have insulted them, put them in their place. Instead, everybody appreciated it. And then it comes up again when he's talking to Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler!
He gets a roll out of that.
Oh, Adam Sandler! Ooh. Like that.
Yeah.
So cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's winning. He wins a room
almost anybody
instantly.
Else probably would have.
No,
Sandler would have.
He transgresses left and right. He told her on Morning Joe, she was, what's her name? Mina?
I forget. The blonde, right?
Mina?
The blonde?
Yeah, I never know her name.
Can't remember.
But she's hilarious in this.
She is.
And she can't say Messiah Complex because she's so nervous, and he suggests that she's ovulating. Now, that usually would be just scooped up and turned into this, how dare you, sexist thing.
Yeah.
No. It's just, the whole thing was such a winning sweep of brilliance against the tyranny of just profoundly uninformed news, And we were all just vindicated from that moment. And it was just like, say whatever you want.
Yeah.
Take the thing over. And, Rosie O'Donnell speaks perfectly about it in the film.
Mm-hmm.
She's amazing in the film because she went from really just, who is this guy, to...
Right. She was on that
Thank
other
God
side.
for this guy.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And the film literally is not, at any point, never designed to be a propaganda piece for Russell Brand. It was going to be, for me, my inspiration with it was, here's a guy who's taken everything to the hilt. Drug addiction, sex addiction, Hollywood stardom, marrying a pop star, Katy Perry. Mm-hmm. None of it worked. It all came up empty, and yet these are the things we are marketed and sold every day of our lives. Mm-hmm. What a better subject. What better subject could I find to explore the emptiness of those pursuits? And we all have superficial pursuits and priorities. And we need to we need to look at stories like this. We need to be fed stories like this to see a person like this walk away from all that and just say, I'm moving to England. I'm leaving Hollywood. I'm going to go march with some single moms. I'm going to write a book suggesting we should overthrow the government. Here's my ideas of how that should happen. I've been slammed in the press, but I'm going to get out there again and have an anarchic fair to celebrate the release of my book. You know, he's so courageous. I think he sends a signal to all of us that we can be a little bit like that. And those are the kind of people I love to document. I mean, Amanda Palmer's like that too. You see her and it's like, oh, I need a little bit of Amanda Palmer in me. You know, because she came under fire. Anyone who's an impossible visionary comes under fire. But you have to just keep going and keep believing and keep doing it. You know, thank God is doing that. You know,
Yeah.
it's awesome, don't you think?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a story of transformation. It's people are crying, audiences are flipping out.
Where's it? Where
It's
other
played
ones?
twice. It's played Paramount. It's played today. Played today.
How'd that go?
Amazing.
And people are forgiving or whatever.
Oh
they're
my
not,
God, they love
they all
him more for it.
Yeah.
You know, for all of his
foibles or what have you.
foibles
Yeah.
and all of his narcissism and all of his eccentricities
Yeah.
and gross humor. Like, he's hilarious. But I think he can't see that. He thinks he's only funny in a certain joke here and there. He's so critical, like we all are of ourselves. He doesn't realize how funny he is just in his everyday life. And this documentary allows you to see that in a way that's never been seen. You know, that's what's so beautiful, I think, about it is he's really... he's... You know, you see him at times when he doesn't know he's being filmed really, or he's not paying attention to me. He's just used to me being around. And he's not on stage, and he's not performing, and he's not in front of people. He's just reflecting. You see that. You see him... It looks like he's nodding off, but he's actually meditating in a car. You know? It was like borderline whether I should shoot that, you know? But I think it worked really well in the film, and I think ultimately it wasn't one of the many things he had problems with, thank God. You know, you see him vulnerable, hiding in the bathroom. You know, you see stuff that,
Right. They were,
that he wasn't excited for us to see necessarily, but it takes this person who was sort of hyperbolic and out of reach for a lot of people and dismissible and grounds him as a human being, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Which he is.
Yeah, so
And
I
I
see
love
now
him.
what you mean
I
by
love
his not
Russell.
actually appearing wasn't because he had a better thing to do. That's clear. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like he had a better opportunity, something better to do.
He has tons that he could do
Yeah.
that would make him
But I'm
millions
saying-
and millions of dollars right now.
Yeah.
Offers left and right for talk shows. You know,
To be the
he could
host. you
stay
mean.
in Hollywood. Yeah.
Yeah.
He could stay in Hollywood and have never left and be getting roles in films, of course, because
Right.
he's a genius.
Sure.
Performer and actor. Maybe he had a mishit with Arthur, but Get Him to the Greek was amazing, and he would have certainly acted again. Everybody has ups and downs. It's not like he left because Arthur didn't work out, you know, or Brand X didn't work out. It was
Did somebody suggest
he
that?
was just
Did
done.
the press suggest
done
that?
with the system, and he didn't want to be part of a system that was the distraction of millions and millions and millions of people around the world from what's actually going on.
A lot of people
He loves
fo-
the truth. He
a lot
wants
of-
to wake up and just take one single camera and upend the news, and he gets more views than Fox as he's like
Wow.
telling them,
Thank God. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But he does.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he inspires more people to step
So
out of line and
if
be
he
who
tweets,
they are.
If he tweets this, I'll probably get the 10 sponsors out of it. If
He probably
tweets,
won't because
please.
he's not promoting this film right now,
Okay.
and that's,
Yeah.
you know, that's
Understand.
because it's about him, and he feels like that's weird.
Gotcha.
And I think that shows integrity. But I think it's funny because he didn't come to South by Southwest, right? And we all know that. That's all over the world right now. But you know what's weird? When the movie plays, it's like he's there. I mean, the movie captures his essence, I think. And there's footage that has never seen the light of day. So much different kind of footage. And his mother and his father and his first girlfriend and his writing partners. He's there. He's in the
I
room.
understand. Right.
Don't you think?
Well, I didn't see it in that.
Oh, you
that
didn't
context,
see it here?
Unfortunately, no. I had to see it. I had to see it ahead of time because I was.
It's like he's here. It's weird.
But I'll take your word for that.
I mean, audiences are saying I don't mind him being here, not being here.
Okay, that's
I feel like I just was with him.
when it comes to making the film and financing it and distribution, is that at this point is it much easier for you? This is the part for the filmmakers out there, so they can learn a little bit about a truly successful documentary filmmaker, their experience. So I feel like I should be their avatar for a minute and ask you about like that, if you're comfortable talking about it. Like, just in terms
I mean, it's a unique situation because every film of mine has been a unique situation. This one, we have a subject who was involved in making this film originally with Al Maisels and Oliver Stone. Then Seth Gordon's team, Clay and Luis.
Say this again. Wait.
You didn't know? It started like 6 years ago.
Brand?
Happiness. It was called Happiness.
Right. I do remember that. But it was about Russell Brand?
Yeah.
And
like
Al
that
Maisels
Mike
was even
Tyson,
on that
David
camera?
Lynch footage, the Katy Perry interview, Stephen Merchant, and I'm going to forget some, but on Oliver Stone, that was all from the previous production.
Oh, I see. Perhaps I read that.
Him interviewing people all over the place.
He was right.
It was like he was a talk show host.
And there was a short.
I made that.
Right.
Russell Brand's The Bird?
Yes, right.
I made that. It's part of my Chief Executive Artist series. CEAbundle.com. CEAbundle.com. Yes, Shepard, Amanda, and Russell all wrapped together in one perfect package.
Gotcha.
Of inspiration for any artist out there. Check it out.
Oh, okay. So there was a different project, and Al Maisels.
It was like it was like 4 years before I came along that people were filming with him, but he would control the flow of everything. And
he was interviewing, so he sort of in the driver's seat, and then you came in, and you're like...
He didn't want it to be about him.
You changed it up, right.
I had to... He pursued me for this, and I said this is the way I needed to make it. A biography with creative control.
So you were going to be one of the group of these people, and then you were like...
No, I wasn't. I wasn't going to take it on.
Okay. No, I get it. And then you
Until I met him.
Right, and then you said, but if I
do
it...
you're amazing.
I'm going to do it, and you're amazing, but I'm
you're not in this film that I've seen, so I don't like that.
I see. Right.
That's not
You're
okay.
hiding. You're hiding. I want
you're not in it.
I want you in it. Yeah.
You're in it, but you're not in it.
Okay, very good. And so then from there...
So there was investors there were a consortium of like 21 investors called the Mayfair Film Partnership.
And then the distribution part of it, you don't have to struggle with that too much?
We are selling the film. All rights are available. We are not selling it, I think, until Tuesday, Monday.
So there's no announcement
Wednesday.
yet, right?
Nobody asking? There's a lot of people around
I didn't say that.
circulating. I don't know. I have no idea. I've been so busy with just audiences, and I have a short film here called The Last Mile that premiered yesterday about a tech incubator inside St. Quentin Prison that I made for TotalDisruption.com in partnership with Wired.com. It's actually on Wired right now. And it's amazing. And one of the former inmates who's part of the program, who's an entrepreneur now, is here. I've been doing that. We had a premiere party. I have my talk show shooting in town, BYOD, where I'm playing your role of being host.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's only been 2 days, but it's like a year already. So, no, I have no idea what's going on with the buyers. I've heard... there's obviously a massive buzz around the film.
Right,
it's couldn't be going better.
Gotcha. So in a word, it's just a matter.
The reaction has been astounding. The reviews are amazing.
Yeah,
they're not amazing. They're just great. They're not amazed.
Is maybe the way you put it. And then it's a matter of finding the right
partner.
Fit. Yeah,
because we want to do it all. We want to have a theatrical, but we want to sell direct to consumer.
It's nice to be in that position.
We'll see if we are, but hopefully we are. I don't want to count my chickens.
The name of the film is Brand: A Second Coming, and I've been talking with the one and only and the lovely Ondi Timoner. And
the films I cut you off on, which ones you liked the most of mine?
Oh, no. I loved We Live in Public, but Dig is also just... And I love that I saw in We Live in Public the guy from The Cruise just
Timothy Speed Levitt. I was talking to Rick Linklater about it the other day.
I love when I see that happen in the documentary world, or just that kind of
people
serendipity.
That should meet.
Well, just that if you watch enough films, you see that happen where somebody from one documentary pops up in another documentary. It's just a nice little moment which you can appreciate.
He's a lovely person.
Yeah, he was at the Cinema Eye Honors, and he did a funny bit at the Cinema Eye Honors.
Go AJ Schnack.
Got to get him
founder of Cinema Eye Honors.
Correct. He's been
on here
a couple of times.
Yeah, BYOD has been such a blessing because I just know so many of my colleagues and peers, and I have so much respect for documentary filmmakers in general. They're warriors of truth of today and always. And it's amazing to put this film out the week that Al Maisels passed away because he started this film.
Right.
And we knew and respected each other very much.
Yeah, it's a major loss. He was a lovely, funny, and charming guy.
Yeah.
The end of an era. and he was on episode 180 of my show.
Oh my gosh!
So honored. That
How many shows?
I've done a lot.
More
Yeah,
than how many? Hundreds?
You're going to probably
200?
be around a little bit more than that. But it was one of those things where it started with these very brief, much like shorter conversation, half hour or more, less, and it was on internet radio, and then it just sort of,
I've
now
done
I
like
do
220 or 230 with BYOD
Wow.
since
I'm gonna
2011, but it was
have a lot
late
of
in
catching up.
2011. I think
So we
we
started at the
did
same
weekly,
time.
but we started the same year. But I think I may have started a little later,
Okay.
which is why I have less episodes. It's once a week, your show?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's probably
sometimes even more frequently if I
Again, we're back to simple math. Can't do it.
Thank you for doing this, though.
Thank you, Adam.
It's a lovely meeting
It was
you.
a pleasure. It was a
Yeah,
lovely
I hope you had a good
environment
time.
for our interview, though. I don't see the bats,
Well, we'll do that after.
much to my chagrin.
Thank you. Thank you.